morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, and we're just getting started. It's 9:34. I just filled up my tank of gas, and it's going to be a shorter day today. I do have to be home between 4:30 and 5 because my son has a performance at school, and it's going to be the same thing on Thursday because my daughter changed her mind, and now she does want to be a part of her school performance as well, so hers is on Thursday, so it'll be more or less the same kind of situation for Thursday, but we are going to make the most of the time that we've got, so let's get started. All right, we got our first one by the skin of our teeth since the app wanted to just circle, but I caught it. Going to Starbucks, $6 and some odd cents. I don't remember exactly how much because I was just trying to accept it because I saw that it was 1.9 miles. So I'm on my way to Starbucks right now. We are now off to Dunkin', and that one is going to be for $8.85 to go 6.7 miles. I am going to preface in saying that I am definitely trying to get my acceptance rate up on DoorDash, so I'm going to be taking a few things that I normally wouldn't take. Not only that, but it is morning and before 11 o'clock, so I have to be smart about what I take as far as understanding that it's not as busy right now. So I need to be able to take orders that are going to keep me moving, that are relatively lucrative, but you know, aren't going to have me wasting my time as well. So I went ahead and took this. It's almost $9, and I didn't even have to, I barely left where I just made that other Starbucks order, and that was $6.40, and I made that in 15 minutes, and that's with having to be in Starbucks for 5 minutes. So that's a good order. If you can get 4 of those in an hour, you know, you're on trend to make good money. So anyway, we're off to Dunkin', and we'll try to get that done as quick as possible because we know Dunkin' usually takes a while, and this is the Dunkin' that one time I ended up sitting in there for 15 minutes because nobody decided to tell me that there was a couple of items that they just didn't have. So we're gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen this time. Well, that was some sort of Christmas miracle. I walked in there and the order was already sitting on the counter. So all I had to do is say thank you, grab the order, and get out of there. I think that's about the quickest bus experience that I have had at this Dunkin' to date. So thank you, Lord. All right, it's gonna take me about 13 minutes to get over there, but all in all, this is gonna take me less than 20 minutes to make $8.85. So I'd say we are on a good roll so far. All right, I just accepted a McDonald's order for $4.55 to go 2.6 miles, only because it's going to get me to my $20 for the hour. And that's what we aim for, especially, I mean, if you can do that in a morning shift, that's miraculous. So I wanted to try to get there. So I took this order literally just for the sake of trying to make my $20 an hour. So we're headed up to McDonald's right now. It's about a mile away just to the McDonald's. So, you know, by the time we pick it up, it'll only be about 1.5 miles away from actually, you know, from the restaurant. So we are headed there now. I ended up making $19.80 in my first hour, but in the last half an hour, I've had really nothing to do. I sat for a little while and realized I had already finished my last book, which I've read 6 books so far this year, all between like 350 and 400 pages, which I'm thrilled about because after becoming a mom, there was very little time, especially with every subsequent child, to read. And I'm one that when I get in it, and I want to keep going, or at least finish a chapter. So I just haven't been reading as much as I'd like in the last 10 years. Up until this year, my kids are now old enough where I can take some time and I can just read. And I've also been taking the time while I'm working, when I'm not busy, to read a few pages of a book. It keeps my mind going and I'm not bored every time I have nothing to do, because I'm excited to get back into a book. But I did just finish that last book, so I ran into Target really quick to grab a couple of books, because I just want something to do and something interesting while I'm out. So I grabbed a couple books. I read all the Housemaid books and they were fantastic, so I want to read more Frida McFadden, because I really enjoyed those, so I figure I might as well read more of her stuff. So I just bought The Surrogate Mother, and that sounds fascinating. And then I saw this, kind of grabbed my eye. It seems very Lifetime movie-like. It's called Then She Was Gone, and this is by, I think, Lisa Jewell, or Jewell, about a woman whose child goes missing, but then she kind of ends up dating someone whose daughter looks like her missing child. And so yeah, I'm really excited to get into these. So I'm going to start reading, because the calls that I'm getting are bogus. I got a call to go over to Aldi for like $10 to go 6 miles to get 5 items. But the 6 miles led me to a place where I would have to do the same amount of miles back. So that's not good. And I've been getting more of the same with other even food orders, where it's pretty much, you know, $1 per mile or upside down in some way. So it is 11:15 now. It should be getting busy. You know, it is 11, but the weather is kind of icky, so I'm not really sure what kind of day this is going to turn into. Hopefully we pick up here soon. I've got DoorDash running, which is the only platform I've made money on so far. I have Uber Eats on. I've only gotten a couple of calls from them that were also pretty bad, so I had to decline. And I do have Instacart going, but it's Tuesday, and you know how we feel about Tuesdays. So I've got nothing, not one single offer on Instacart thus far. I turned on Grubhub briefly, but the map showed no red spots whatsoever. So I just figured I'm wasting battery, because it does really run my battery down having Grubhub running for some reason. So I turned it off. So I'm just gonna sit and read for a little bit, enjoy the rest of my coffee, and hope that sooner rather than later we get something worth taking. Well, if manifestation was a thing, which, you know, I'm sure it is, I didn't even get past one full page when I just got a call to go to Aldi for $12.75, 1.8 miles, and only, I think, 12 items. That is the kind of call I need. Okay, when I was coming into this little subdivision here, I got an Uber Eats call, my first one of the day, that was worth taking for $11.36, I want to say it was, for 7.7 miles to pick up at Chipotle. Mind you, about 3 to 3.5 miles of that is just getting to Chipotle. So once we pick it up, it should be, I mean, in under half an hour type of delivery to make an extra $11 and some odd cents. So yeah, what a way to try to make up for that time, that half an hour that we spent doing nothing. Because even when I was in Target, I think I had gotten one call that it was just a stupid call, so I wouldn't have taken it even if I was out there. But yeah, we're on our way to Chipotle. Okay, we've got a Chipotle, and it's about 5 miles to the customer, so it's going to take me about 11 minutes, and it is getting a little stormy out here. So, I don't know, are we gonna need a poncho today? I mean, if we do, I'm prepared, of course, but, All right, we took a not so great order because I am a lot further south than I prefer to be. So I took an $8.95 order to go about 9 miles to pick up at Fresh Kitchen. But it's actually gonna position me in a really good spot. Not to mention, I need my phone to charge a little bit, so having a longer distance so that it can stay on the charger for a bit is a good idea. And it is starting to rain. And it's pretty funny because in the community that I'm in right now, there's like a security, you know, you have to stop at a little booth before you come into the community and show your ID. And the lady was like, it looks like we're about to get some rain. And I was like, I know. I said, you know, just waiting for the sky to fall. Well, it has started leaking. So I wouldn't mind being able to run into Fresh Kitchen, grab this order, and if it does start to rain, at least I can be in my vehicle and prepare accordingly. So there's that.